Hi everyone. On this week's ATV Behind the Scenes, we're sitting down with Persistent Universe Art Director, Mr. Mark Skelton. Mark, how you doing, man?
How are you, man?
Good.
How's Disco Landbro today?
He's all right. He's all right. It's a little in retirement, but Jared Huckabee, community manager, is still here.
That sounds formal and sexy. I
Yeah,
like
it's
it.
yeah.
It sounds like you should be wearing a tux or something when you're talking to me.
I look good in a tux.
Do you? I don't.
It is. All right. So, back on track.
Anywho.
We're here today to take a look at the upcoming Million Mile High Club
Ooh.
that will be introduced in Star Citizen Alpha 2.0. So you're going to take us on a brief tour? Maybe start with some concept art, maybe?
Yeah, let's do it. So a lot of the ideas that came about were, I don't know, we were bouncing around different ideas for what this place should be. I was a big proponent of using some previous assets that we had just because it makes the process go faster and we've already established it. So I used a little bit of some of the G-Lock bar to start with. Obviously we expanded it away from there, but so the G-Lock bar kind of, it was kind of like, already had that kind of industrial vibe to it a little bit, maybe kind of a high-end, I don't want to say steampunk, but more like a high-end, nice industrial bar with like wood and some gold inlay and nice mood lighting and stuff like that. So kind of went in that direction, decided to start messing around with that. The first thing I did was start looking at other industrial bars that are real world. So there's a bar in LA that we kind of attached ourselves to. It's called the Edison Bar. I'll show you some of the stuff.
Bring that over to the screen.
Yeah, I'll show you some of this stuff. So the Edison Bar was really cool. It's got like this really interesting kind of industrial vibe that we were looking for. It's got a lot of like warm lighting in it, which I really liked, a lot of woods and stuff. So this was kind of the launching point for what I was expecting, you know, what I was trying to shoot for with this. I'll show you some of this. So yeah, that kind of classic high-end, you know, like cigar, you know, type bars that you would see in LA and various places. So with that, we first initially did a layout, which Behavior did a nice layout of the bar itself, and then I had Ken Fairclaw do a paint over of it, which I kind of went back and forth on. So after we kind of established what the layout would be, just a quick mock-up of the previous assets that we had. I had Ken do a paint over. We walked back and forth, or went back and forth with, again, the expectations and what the focus of the bar would be. Right off the bat, I felt like there was this big element right when you walk in that I thought was really cool. It's like kind of a mobile, like large sculpture. So kind of focused in on that and started Ken doing some paint overs here and there of it. Thought it would be kind of cool to reflect kind of a solar system kind of vibe to it, since obviously, you know, this is a
space game.
Space bar. So also incorporating some of the wood elements and brass, which would go with the whole vibe of the thing. So kind of started with that, started putting things in place. The other thing that we were going back and forth on was the logo for the bar. We ended up going with something more elegant, you know, the 890, and something more high-end, which, you know, the 890 is kind of a high-end yacht anyway. So we started bouncing it back and forth. Wanted kind of a NASA vibe, a little bit, you know. I know Chris was really digging on that. So we had some variations, and we finally kind of leaned towards like 2 and 3. After we kind of established all that, got the sign-off from design as far as the layout goes. Usually design, what they'll do is they'll walk through it and give us what's called a critical path. The critical path is the path that the player is going to traverse the most. So we concentrate on that, make sure that that path has enough interesting things in it and moves correctly enough before going forward.